Alright, so my man, why don't you let everybody know your name and where you from, man?
My name is Jimmy Kendrix, street radio, family business, Hollis, New York, Far Rock, Queens, New York, where I'm from.
Yo, Jimmy, man, let me ask you, man, how did you get exposed to music, man?
I'm exposed to music at a young age, through church, in school. I got into it. Even though a lot of times I didn't want to get into it, but I got into it, and it just kind of, ended up and became a lifelong career. Not to say that, I didn't have, jobs coming up as a young kid. I'm just a normal kid, New York City kid, family, brothers and sisters. But music always somehow was entangled in a lot of parts of my life, through school, through church. But, mama wasn't playing, so we had to be in church.
Alright, so let me ask you, Jim, how did you start getting into production?
I got into production through my uncle Bugs, who he started doing it with Bad Boy. We started actually getting into it heavy, with my god sister Kelly Price, who was an R&B singer with Island Def Jam. And as we went along, we just started to make our way on our own, as musicians first, which is good because we started to tour a lot. Being able to go to China and tour and do Broadway plays, be in the pit, and help put together the actual music to a Broadway play that's in China with, a whole bunch of officials and stuff. It's an experience for a kid from Hollis, from the hood, It's a great opportunity, and I learned from it. And I realized in New York City that the world is so much bigger than Hollis, Queens, and New York City, and America alone. For us young black people, just young people, period. Look bigger than what you see. With your eye vision, look bigger than that. So, and you'll be there. So, from there, that's been about it.
Yo, Jimmy, man, who were your influences as a producer?
Well, I think one of my biggest influences, I'll have to say, would be my grandfather, who is a pastor. He's a bishop. He's no longer here, but since being a young man, I never got caught up in, hip hop and what's hot and what's not. I always looked at people for how I seen them live their lives. And, my grandfather, he was, a big bishop, pastor, and before that he was a post office, so people in the neighborhood loved him. And I realized how strong he was loved, not just in church, not in where he preached and helped people all his life, but in the streets. And that's why I kind of always try to implement things in my life where I always remember where I'm from. I'm still that kid from Queens. I'm still in New York City. And I think if I get $10 million to $1 trillion, I'll probably have a house in Miami, in a little apartment in LA, but best believe, home will be in New York City. So it's that, my role model, my perspective on this music game is different from how some others see it. Some people see it from a perspective of, what they can get out of it. Me, I did it because I was just used to doing it, and so why y'all want to go and party and, live it up and be in the hottest parties, I can really care less. I'd rather sit front row seat in, New York Knicks Madison Square Garden tickets. That's me. I love sports, and I love my family, so, I do it because this is how we made a living. Because the love for it is always something I would do. Whether there was a penny on this game. So, like I tell any of y'all young people, if you in this for the money, you might want to, keep your day job, because you might not see that part for a while. You know what I mean? Have a lawyer, be smart, know what you're doing, know what arena you're playing in. Don't come in here thinking this is a little tennis court. Now this is 50-yard line, 100. This is NFL right here, so it's nothing to play in here. Be smart about it.
So Jimmy, can you let us know, Bangin tables, man, what equipment do you use right now? What did you start with?
Yo, by the way, I love that Bangin tables, man. I can see Cause I was one of them people. I gotta say, I was one of the people banging tables. But back to what I was saying before I got interrupted by myself. I mean, I keep it real basic. This setup right here in this studio that I work out of in an undisclosed location. It has everything I do. It has like guitars, you know, shakers, triangles, cowbell. It has, you know, keyboards, you know, my MP of course. It has a couple modules. And that's on one side.